So my name is Kerry Stevens and I'm the chairman of the Auckland Town Hall Organ Trust. At the side of the stage where people can't see, there's a door that leads to the organ loft, and we're ready for a magic tour. Now in here at the bottom level of the organ, and it's behind the big facade you can see from the auditorium, this is the wind department, if you like. Here we have about 23 of these reservoirs which hold the wind in a constant state of pressure for the different parts of the organ. Then when the organist has a big chord that suddenly destabilizes the wind, then these come into play. And these are called concussion bellows. There are about 30 of these throughout the organ to take the shock out of the wind. Now, behind the middle of the organ is the console. And this is the, if you like, the control center where you have the keys, and we've got Nick Forbes sitting at the keys. Nick, can you run your fingers along the solo manual? And you'll see. So that's the top keyboard of 4. And this is where we first see some pipes. These are the biggest pipes of the organ. There are 44 of these going from this one here to one you can't see right down there. We'll see it when we go upstairs. A very, very ancient reed pipe. If we take the boot off, then you can see the reed that beats here. And this is the tuning wire. So when the tuning wire is up or down, it alters the pitch. The other kind of pipe in the organ is like a whistle. Right, shall we go marching up the stairs? Olivier Latry, who from Notre Dame, came here to play the organ, and he looked at us and he said, "There's nothing like this in Notre Dame." He said, "And this is not an organ, this is an apartment." So there you are. That's because I suppose these wonderful oak staircases are not to be found in many organs. This part of the organ is called the swell organ because its pipes all shut in a pretty soundproof room. Now at the front of this room there's a louvered set of louvers which open and shut and make the organ softer or louder. There. And they can be opened and closed by the organist with pedals by his feet. Now we're heading round to the front of the organ, and if you peep through here, you can see the orchestra set up, you can see the auditorium with the seats. Now, most parts of the organ have their own battery of trumpets. These are the trumpets of the great organ. And behind here are the biggest pipes of all and the loudest pedal pipes. Which, if you like, this is the organ builder's idea of a trombone. And I'll get Nick to play the lowest note, which is on this pipe here. No, this pipe at the back goes from there all the way down to the bottom. Thank you. So it's something you don't hear this close up normally. It's one of those sounds you add when the organ's nearly at full organ, and it adds wonderful depth and breadth to the sound. This is the choir organ, and this is the lowest keyboard, which has some fascinating sounds in it. If you know anything about orchestral instruments, you'll say, well, that looks a bit like a cor anglais. Well, it is. This is one of the biggest pipes, made of kauri, and they go down to the smallest ones and right up from there all the way down to the floor. Now, the different parts of the organ are on different pressure. This is one of the highest pressures in the organ because it supplies the wind for the bombard division. And if I push the overblow valve, you get an idea of how much wind's in there. So all of that sound came from this part of the organ here, which are the loudest part of the organ. And as the organ builder Philip Kleiss said, if the organist or the conductor wants more, there will always be more. This is the more. And then for the pièce de résistance, I'm taking you to Aladdin's cave, around here. This is the solo organ, where all the intriguing sounds live. Now, we've talked quite a lot about the Maori sounds of the organ, the pukaia and the kuawa. Well, here they are, and there's nothing like them anywhere else in the world. The glass pipes here, kuawa is a little flute of about 5 notes made of wood or bone, but the organ builder decided to make it out of scientific glass and had to find 61 notes because there are 61 notes on a keyboard. The other Maori stop is the pukaia here, which is a kind of a trumpet, and this was carved by the carvers of the Ōreke marae, Ngāti Whātua, and it's very beautiful. Let's see if we can hear some of this. And that's the tour of the Auckland Town Hall Organ.